Today we're talking Kanye West, Khabib, and McGregor, Rebby, Rose, twerking, quirking, fighting, and more on today's World Star Wrap-Up. You already know what it is.
Parental guidance is advised.
A lot of World Star moments today on today's show.
Oh, definitely. We have two fights on this show instead of one. It's double the fights on this episode today. I'm excited for it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to World Star Weekly. I'm your host, Michael Patterson. I'm joined by two people to the left of me, starting off with Tehran.
And that's me. I'm Tehran. Literally, if you don't know who I am, then you haven't been paying attention.
And I'm Abigail Fraher.
That's so anticlimactic after that. It's so anticlimactic. And we do this World Star Wrap-Up each and every week, which is a wrap-up of our favorite World Star clips. If you're a World Star enthusiast, as we are, we enjoy you, we welcome you. Thank you for discussing some World Star moments.
Yeah, we got some really good clips today, I think. A very, very diverse group of clips today, I guess is a good way of saying
diverse would be great if we were a much more diverse panel.
I don't know if we can use that word today.
And we can,
Sorry, guys.
as we are, of course, engaging with different hosts and figuring it all out. We enjoy it, but you know what? I will say I am very surprised by Michael's opinions on different
Thanks,
views.
man.
Because you are to me,
there we go.
A lot of people don't realize you are, to me, represent that whole part of America.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That whole part of America that we tend to fly over. And I love hearing how diverse your thoughts are. So thank you so much for being on
I got
the
an
show.
open mind. I grew up in Southern California, so it's I got the background. But
I appreciate you.
and I appreciate you. Well, anyway, we got some great clips for you guys.
Me.
Abigail, of course we appreciate you. You wear champion. That's all that everyone needs to know. You wear champion and hoop earrings and you
rock it. And you rock it.
And you have a great time.
There we go. Is this World Star Weekly or is this just a compliment show? We're just going to compliment each other for 40 minutes.
Well, if we start fighting, that would be a World Star moment.
Right?
Let's go.
Yeah, well, we got some great clips. We're going to be talking about Kanye West at SNL. We got two fights, like I mentioned before. Dog videos, Red Rose.
In a good way, though. Dog videos in a good way.
Yes.
In the best way possible.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll get to it.
Watch it. You have to watch.
We'll just start off right up on the top. Kanye West performed at SNL last week with Lil Pump. They were the musical guest hosts. They were performing their new single, I Love It, wearing some great costumes, I might add. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I did.
The costumes were a variation of what Kanye and Little Water Pump. What were they?
Lil Pump.
Yeah, it was
Sparkling and Still.
Sparkling. Oh, okay.
Lyrics from the song.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just the best part about that song. Well,
Yeah.
let's just right after that song played, he kind of went on a little bit of a monologue that did not air on the show, and we're gonna play a little bit of a clip of that.
I wanna cry right now, black man in America. Supposed to keep what you feel inside right now.
So as we see right now, Kanye is singing the end of his song, and then he goes on a rant, and the rant is
You know, it's like we're playing
totally unscripted. This is actually from the original, because on Saturday Night Live, what they do is they do the show in the afternoon, and they do the show in the evening. The afternoon is a dry run, and they gauge how their skits perform in front of a live audience, and then they switch the audience for the night show, which is live. So it's very tedious work. But Kanye, in this clip, is wearing a MAGA hat. And
Yeah.
MAGA hats are extremely controversial, especially in today's political atmosphere.
Well, and in New York, no less.
In New York, and being worn by a black male. Because of what MAGA has typically represented. When people think MAGA, they really think tiki torches at any given time. And for Kanye to do that, which Kanye has done in numerous instances in the past, including wearing a MAGA hat and a Colin Kaepernick shirt at the same time, which seems to many people to be not only controversial, but to be almost bipolar.
Yeah, these kind of clips just confuse me because I don't get where his head's at. I mean, I think he said before that, you know, this is the real Kanye. He's off the meds now, and he's just. This isn't the first time he's gone on one of these tirades. I think in this tirade specifically, he talks about, we might not have heard it in the video, he talks about how welfare is dividing black families in this nation and that we need to abolish the 13th Amendment.
He talked about the 13th Amendment in a tweet.
Yeah.
What he was speaking on to begin with originally was how he was bullied into not wearing the MAGA hat on the show. And we later find out that the person who he was bullied by is a member of his own inner circle, Malik, who is an artist in his own right, who has been in projects and also guided Kanye in his past projects going forward, where he felt he was bullied because he was told not to wear the hat, and Malik said, if you wear the hat, I'm leaving. And they've had arguments regarding this before. A lot of people have come out and spoken to Kanye in this regards, T.I. being one of the aforementioned, of course.
Yep.
So the concept is that Kanye is a believer in the MAGA concept. He's also seemed to have supported Trump in the past, politically.
Yeah.
Fiscally, I can understand being that wealthy, possibly wanting to be a Republican.
Yeah.
But the political and social climate that exists today, it's very hard to separate being black and being a Trump supporter.
Right.
It's very difficult for most people. And it's a very interesting thing. So it really comes down to people are upset at Kanye for promoting a product that they think is not only racist, but divisive and politically charged.
Yeah, not representative of the community. And I think a lot of people
Of the community that supports him.
Yeah,
Right.
and
The most.
and that's an issue because a lot of people are having a hard time differentiating him, but as a person and as a musician, they almost don't want to support him as a musician anymore. And I want to know if you think he's going to receive any sort of backlash from this when the next album comes out.
The next album, which was supposed to come out that night,
Yeah.
actually, that didn't drop out. I had more backlash at Kanye because I was waiting.
Right.
I was waiting on my title. Like, I was updating. I was like such a fangirl. Like, I kept
Refreshing.
updating and refreshing, and it wouldn't come out. And I was waiting for his albums because
Yeah.
his music is very
It's
good.
awesome.
It is very difficult to sometimes separate your favorite artist from
Their
their personal side. Their public side from their personal side. It's very difficult to do so. And I don't know if we should always do so.
I was just gonna say, I feel like if you're in the spotlight in the celebrity standpoint, you really need to stop and consider, like, do I want to ruin my fan base potentially, or is this more important to me than my livelihood? And I think once you have a certain amount of wealth, you don't really, he's got investments, whatnot. But I think that a lot of times, even athletes, everyone's really getting politically fueled and stating their opinion. And I think sometimes, I don't know if we all want that.
Sure,
On every platform.
We say that, but at the same time, we respect those that lead a charge, especially when it agrees with our opinion.
Right.
We disagree with those and get upset at the ones who don't. And I've always been under the number one impression is I personally believe in the freedom of speech. And when I say that, I mean, if you do not believe in the freedom of speech for those you disdain, you do
don't
not
believe
believe
in
in
it,
the freedom
right.
of speech. And while I don't always agree with Kanye's thought process, I'm one of the few people that tries or at least does understand where he's coming from in a lot of things. For example, when he was speaking on the abolishment of the 13th Amendment, he was specifically speaking not on the abolishment of the amendment that refrains from slavery, but regarding the concept of slavery is illegal unless you are imprisoned. And that is something that the 13th, if you watch even the Netflix documentary, talks about how that's what leads to the imprisonment of people of color, because it basically reinstates slavery in a lot of ways. So what Kanye is referring to is this, but we can't always PS everything Kanye says. When
course.
Kanye says something, slavery is a choice, it can't be the rest of us who always have to dictate. It's irresponsible, Kanye. You are a person in a position with a platform that everyone listens to. And when you say things, the wrong people utilize your words in the wrong way. You're providing them the ammo that they need, and they're saying, well, look, one of your leaders is saying this, so it must be true, because you're not providing an apt explanation. You might be a genius in your own head, but
You
we
gotta
don't live
explain
in
it.
your own
Right,
head.
right.
We do not live there. We don't know what you're saying. And the rest of us who do understand where you're coming from are tired of sitting there and trying to explain you, because then we get attacked as well. We get attacked as well. State your sentences plainly. When you say make America great again, if you just simply said, we want to make America great, we can all get on board with that concept. It's when you add the words again, and then you look at the history of the United States and the hypocrisy within the democracy, that adds to the convoluted conclusion that you are leaving the black community. When you wear a Colin Kaepernick shirt and a MAGA hat, people don't understand the libertarian stance on that. People are taking it as in you are mocking Colin Kaepernick. And when you say things like let's abolish the 13th Amendment, people aren't listening to the overall conclusion that you're forthcoming
Or
with.
taking the time to dig afterwards.
Exactly.
into
What
it.
they're saying is, it sounds like you're saying, bring back slavery. And especially in accordance with the things that you're laying out, that's how it's coming off. I understand that your life is art, Kanye, but the rest of us don't get that luxury. We live in the real world. And unfortunately, in the real world, there happens to be consequences for your actions. So be a lot more aware. When you're saying you're being bullied for wearing a MAGA hat, that part I can understand, because I can understand someone. I always disagree with the videos of people wearing MAGA hats and people who are liberals going up and throwing water at them or splashing them, as they did with, what's the young lady's name who has a show? She's the blonde co-host. She has a show.
Oh,
and
her
now
name
she's
is
on
escaping
Fox.
me.
She's young.
She's young.
Is it Megyn
She's got-
Kelly?
No, she
No.
got discovered on YouTube.
Yeah, she's
I know
from
who you're
YouTube.
talking
But
about, yeah,
I mean, I even forget her name. But she's actually, her and I have had a back and forth on Twitter where it was respectful. But we understand where, like, I understand that you dislike her opinion. I don't understand.
she's also allowed
being
to have an
physically,
opinion.
Violent
Right,
towards her,
right.
you know? But at the same time, you can understand when you have an opinion that can seem extremely racially charged, you're going to get backlash.
Right.
And you should be aware of that as well. You can't just have an opinion and think it has no consequences. I just don't think it should have physical, violent consequences. Or we should suppress anyone's opinion. Everything can be a conversation. Everything can be a conversation. And that's how civility and civil society works.
Yeah, of course. And I think that's what's honestly great about these kinds of situations, is because it creates a conversation, and that's really what I think people should be looking for. Moving on, another big news item. Last night, UFC 229 took place. Very good card, of course. Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Is that right? I think
That's actually a great, excellent pronunciation, Khabib
Yeah.
Nurmagomedov.
Say that 10 times for me.
Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Well, that was the fight of the
From
night.
Pakistan. It's a part of Russia, and it's interesting because there are a group of people in Russia who, when Russia expanded, they're all Muslim, and so it was like one of the places like a Tajikistan or Uzbekistan or in Afghanistan, but this place, it remains inside Russia.
Yeah. Well, Khabib would go on to win that fight, beating McGregor by rear naked choke in round number 4. And if you watched the fight, there was a big old Royal
Melee.
Rumble.
Call it a melee.
It was insane, and it even spilled out into the arena afterwards between fans, which we're going to see right now.
Yeah.
So here you see a group of Irishmen and a group
Oh
of
my
Russians
God.
getting into
Going
it.
at
They're swinging,
it.
and the Russians came out swinging because of whatever the Irishmen have said, and people just watching, of course, because this is better than sitting front side. This is happening in real life in front of you. And I feel like the Russians dealt a real blow. This was the second time Ireland lost a fight this night. And then, of course, the Euro chant, ole, ole, ole.
Yeah, everyone just starts celebrating. That whole fight, I don't know if you guys watched it, but the fight was great. And I think everything afterwards, as someone who watches professional wrestling like a lot, that was probably the fakest thing I've ever seen from the UFC.
You thought that fight was fake?
No, the fight was real. I'm
Okay.
talking about all the stuff afterwards and all of this, we can't put the belt on you because it's too dangerous, stuff's going to get thrown on you. Come on, man.
It's interesting. I actually took it that it was racially charged. This was a fight where Khabib, clearly a Muslim, Conor McGregor's camp has said horrific things about Khabib, his family, his religion, his culture, and Khabib finally just lost it.
Lost his shit.
And now they're talking about, the UFC is talking about suspending Khabib and his camp, and because the difference that they're saying is because this happened in the arena
At work.
and everything else happened outside of the arena.
Yeah.
Even though Khabib's family members were assaulted, Conor McGregor, they utilized for their advertisement purposes, the violence of Conor McGregor throwing into the bus and breaking it
As
and
part of the
hurting
promo
people,
package.
As part of the promo package. But when Khabib just was finally like, I won, people are still not respecting me.
Yeah.
And
Right.
now Conor McGregor's cousin is talking trash about me and my culture and my religion. He finally lost it. He snapped. He's like, I just beat your cousin's ass. I'm gonna beat your ass too. And he does welt him. He does well to him, and they also have a clip of that as well.
Well, and that's the lamest thing about this whole fight afterwards is that the commentators on doing commentary on all this are like, this is, terrible for the sport. I can't believe Khabib would do something like this. And it doesn't make sense to me because Conor did this exact same thing to him, and I can't wrap my head around the fact that why people think this is so bad. I mean, just let him have it. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's going to get suspended.
Right. I feel like though there's again a line with like life's not always going to be fair. People aren't always going to treat you the way that you should be treated, but also like your composure. I mean, this is like a male-dominated testosterone fest.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, do you expect people to go a little wild? Yes. But at some point, realize like you're in this position of power, of privilege. Like you need to remember that, I feel like, when cameras are on. Like create the image that should be created.
Sure, but is there ever a line? And I'll explain this line. This is to Khabib's. This was his version, his cultural version of someone calling him the N-word.
Right.
And I don't know many people besides maybe a President Obama who's amazing at keeping his composure at all times.
Right.
Who would keep their composure? I mean, we saw a Supreme Court justice lose their composure, and this person got sworn in.
Right.
So,
Right.
and it didn't affect him. So the concept is we are expecting Khabib, who basically just came off of a testosterone fest of beating someone's ass.
Which is why I understand that it happened, because that's just nature.
And then not getting his belt in front of people where they're trying to make it seem like, oh, we're protecting you, but that's not the case.
Well, when he's been the villain the entire time. I mean, everyone was booing him the entire fight.
Booing him.
No one wanted him to win. I don't even think the UFC wanted him to win.
They obviously did not. And this punishment, do I see the same punishment happening to Conor McGregor? I definitely don't. And then we see now it spills out to the fans.
Yeah.
Right.
And everyone's blaming the Russian fans and the Muslim fans again. So when we say life isn't fair, it happens to not be as fair towards people of color.
Well, I mean, I wasn't saying that wasn't like a white charged like thing. It was just saying that at a certain point, I think once it's physical, but I just don't ever think it should be initiated. Like,
it's just all toxic male masculinity.
I mean,
It really
might
is.
be. It really is.
And I love it, but
Maybe that's why I don't understand
it's
it.
another guilty pleasure. Yeah. I love watching people fight each other, but it is not something I don't think we should condone. No. Moving on.
This is what I love watching.
something a little bit more lighthearted, I guess you could
Not
say.
light. Let's not go to light. That's heavy.
Red Rose, I believe her name is Red Rose La Cubana. I think that's how you'd say it. She's a very good dancer. Let's see some of her dance move.
I cannot with you.
There you go, Red Rose. Okay.
I was like, Tehran, I really want to
flirting with the camera.
I really
want to
hear your play-by-play on this
one. I love the hair. Okay, so I really like the locks, and now she's wearing some. What would you call that?
I would call it
Spandexy?
it's spandex
Pattern?
and it's knockoff like chain pattern.
Yeah, but you know what's not knocking off?
The butt. It's real.
Bruh,
100%.
you know what the difference between a Ferrari and a fat ass is?
I think I've heard this.
I love
before.
it because I don't think she has a Ferrari. Let's go with that. That's the concept. Is she's doing? Oh, I will do that every week.
See, that gets good. I want.
Now she's twerking.
She's clapping.
She's clapping with her butt, but she and you know what?
And you know what? The green is positioned perfectly on the tops of her cheeks, so it's like.
You think it's intentional?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I think that and you know what?
This I can handle.
People actually go to classes for pole dancing.
Yeah.
Not for pole dancing, twerk classes.
You take twerk classes? I advise more white women to do so. I don't know.
It's fun.
Because I feel like it's something.
It's fun.
I'm sure it is fun. I think that she's a natural at what she's doing. And even though it's obviously there's a sexuality to it, there's actually like an art form to this that we need to also be aware of. We have to be aware that this is.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she has an easier time continuing
this
it.
part might not be art. This part where she's like arched her back, where she looks like she's missing a lower lumbar, and it's just amazing. It's the arch. That might be more than art, but. Okay, so now she's also just twisting her body.
But do you
and
see,
her
like,
booty.
I think she has the easier time doing this because there's so much junk in that trunk.
But
that
do you
just
think
continues.
it's fake? Do you think her butt's fake?
I don't. It moves too much.
It moves
You can
too
hear
much.
it.
And now it's literally clapping.
That actually
butt
though,
is literally
that
clapping.
might be the implants making I don't know.
No, I think that's
I think
all
it's
butt.
real.
I mean,
I think
and the
it's
reason
real.
is
And
because
she's
if you go
thick.
to
Her legs are thick.
she
her
is. If you go
stomach's
to
thick.
her page, you
Yeah.
see her body without,
Yeah.
and you realize
It's real.
It looks very natural to me.
Yeah.
But she's definitely a very talented twerker. And
Tehran's just gonna pick his chin up off the desk real quick.
you know what it is? It's just I enjoy a voluptuous woman,
Okay.
especially in an age where skinny is supposed to be like I.
No, skinny's not in anymore. I don't think anyone can say that stuff anymore.
Well,
everyone wants a skinny girl. Like that's
You
actually
say
not.
that, but you don't see the roses walking runways.
That's true.
Well, not high fashion runways. no.
Exactly.
Actually, you do
high
now.
fashion.
Yes, you do.
Like
There's
who?
definitely plus size models out there now.
And
Ashley Graham.
Ashley Graham is amazing, and she's an outlier. The truth of the matter is, and even though it's Ashley Graham, it's not Shanika or Ruby Rose.
Do they want to
still
do that?
Ashley's.
Does she want to be?
You know what? Of course, everyone wants to be successful in their right. So I would
I'm not
assume.
saying successful. I'm saying, does she want to be a runway model?
I would imagine
think
she
so.
likes to model.
Yeah, what does she do?
She models
Model?
on Instagram.
I was
an
thinking she's just an
Instagram model.
Instagram model, I guess.
But that's
yeah,
that's modeling.
that's a very
like,
legit-
At this point, the most Instagram models are making more than your average model.
Yeah.
But
who's
it's not
doing,
always
like-
about money. It's also about prestige. And
Mm-hmm.
popularity is the slutty little cousin to prestige. So
Mm-hmm.
some people, even if you're extremely popular, you would always want to be also prestigious, which is why we have
Right.
these award shows and stuff like this. I want to know if Michael finds that attractive, because I know maybe it's a cultural thing, and I find that hot. I find that kind of body style or that look very sexy.
I'll say this. Good for her. Good for her, because she seems like she's having a great time and she enjoys it, and other people are enjoying it and she's having success.
That's the guy that likes the skinny girl. You see
with,
that?
with that being said, I don't find that body type attractive. But people are free to find that body type attractive.
Sure.
But that's not my kind of content. I'll
What
just say
kind
that.
of girl do you find attractive?
Um
If you
don't-
find girls attractive,
I'll-
that's the thing. I mean, I don't want to
no,
judge anyone's...
that's fair. I guess I like shorter.
Oh, you
women.
like short? But you're tall. I've noticed I'm tall, but I like tall women. A lot of tall guys tend to like short.
Yeah, like my girlfriend's 5'4",
Interesting.
and I'm 6'5", and that's just always the kind of people I've just been attracted to.
I've always had a thing where I want to be with tall girls, because if we do like
Procreate, you want an athlete.
I don't want, like, my kid's not supposed to play varsity basketball because you're short. No, we need to have a conversation.
That's a very
All for
interesting.
the
But I
genetics,
think
I
she
get
does
it.
a great job, and she's also got an art form, and that pole dancing is very popular now.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a workout it is, but
What do you mean you don't
People-
know how much of a workout
I've never
it is?
pole
Can you
danced.
imagine holding
I've never
yourself like
pole
your
danced.
abdominals have to be crazy, your arms,
Yeah,
your
that's a legit-
legs.
it's a
You're
legit
literally
talent.
climbing a pole.
yeah, but I've never
No,
pole danced,
but
so
you've
I have
watched
no idea.
people pole dance.
Maybe take a
I've
class,
seen
Tehran.
this.
Would you take a class?
You
When
know
it comes
what?
to twerk class with
you
me?
know what? No, but I might go to class. I might go to class with you.
All right.
Are
well,
there beautiful women of
are.
color in
There
the
are,
class?
yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna.
It's a nice mixture.
Oh, okay, I might have to stop by just to see the art.
Yeah.
just to see it up close.
Yeah.
Moving on from this wonderful discussion, something a little bit more serious. That here's a video that I think everyone needs to watch and understand.
Maybe the problem is y'all don't understand what rape is. Like, even if our man says, come to my hotel, and the thought process is we gon' fuck, up until any moment in the fuckery, I can decide if we gon' keep on. Once I say no, if it continues, it's rape. Even if his dick is inside me. Even if we are 7 thrusts in. 7 pump. It can literally be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, stop. If that nigga goes to 8, we have a problem. And if he goes to 9 and 10, we are now in rape land. Do you understand what I'm saying? Once I say no, it's no.
Well, that was very self-explanatory, and so we didn't make commentary over the speech. But the concept is Amanda
get the
Seals
concept.
from Insecure, a stand-up comedian who also has a show, Smart, Funny, and Black, is a very profound, prolific comedian who I respect and admire and have a very strong friendship with. She gives a basic outline of what rape is.
I think this video should be played in high school classrooms. I'm not kidding. Like, because very clearly, like, we're having issues as a culture identifying like where's the line? Like that's the line. Like we control it, but also at the same time, like just stop.
There's also another line which Amanda didn't mention in this video is if you're unable to say no, it's also no.
Correct.
So if someone's asleep, if you have drugged them, if whatever
If they're
the thing
passed
is,
out drunk,
it's all no.
Right.
If they're not
If they can't say
explicitly
yes,
saying yes,
right.
it's not yes.
There's a very cool video I saw on Facebook once about this topic where you kind of have to consider consent like a cup of tea.
yes.
And you can't give tea to someone who's
can't
asleep
force
or
it.
someone that doesn't want it. And if you're forcing that tea on them, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So I think these kind of videos are important. No, even though the language is obviously a pretty colloquial. I think this is an important conversation.
It's a very important conversation,
especially in this political climate.
And the whole thing of the fact that she even needs to say this stuff
Yeah.
is
So
really,
sad.
it's sad. The fact that we don't understand, and we need to understand. All those guys who are like, oh my God, I can't even hit on a girl anymore. No, that's not the concept.
that's
Right.
Or if you do feel like that's the concept, then you know what? If
You're
you're so
hitting on them in
afraid,
the wrong way.
so do this. You know what? Maybe then you should not go out to bars. Be careful of what you wear. Don't drink too much because you might give off the wrong message. Or basically treat yourself the way we've been treating women in the society for thousands of years, and always blame you instead of blaming the opposite sex. So this is how it comes to the privilege, which male privilege is a privilege. To privilege, equality will always feel like oppression.
Yeah, it's tough. This is obviously a very tough topic to talk about.
Whenever it comes to the concept of privilege, whether it's racial privilege, male privilege, whatever it is,
Monetary privilege.
the concept of equality will always feel like oppression. So good for a man. And there's only eight states in the entire country that have mandatory consent along with sex ed. They have mandatory consent conversations along with sex ed.
Interesting.
Only 8 states. And that needs to be a countrywide effort where everyone needs to talk about what is consent, how do you gain consent, and what do you do when consent is not given? And that's stop.
And leave. Go
See,
home.
I'm
No,
gonna-
you don't have to leave. Just stop.
Yeah, just stop.
Literally just stop. Because sometimes we're together, but I don't want to go further.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, I'm mad at you passive aggressively and leave, and now I'm going to manipulate you and guilt you into doing it.
I just would say
Yeah.
most rape cases that happen are not like from somebody being like, oh, you know what, I think we're moving too fast in our relationship.
That's an
That
interesting-
actually
that's
is in the news
most-
right now.
That's the most amount of rape cases.
is between like a boyfriend girlfriend.
It's a concept of the date rape, which we all just go, it's a blurred line. How do you know boys will be boys and all these concepts? Everyone understands the rape of a stranger walking up, taking you in
I'm
an
not
alley.
saying no.
That's rape.
I'm not saying date. I
But
mean
I'm
like a
talking about-
long-term committed relationship where you're like,
It happens. You know what? It's something we need to discuss as a culture is husbands who rape their wives.
yeah.
And it's something that we
actually
don't
very
talk
common.
about. And it's actually horrible. And it makes women feel horrific. And I can only imagine what that must feel like. And that's something we need to talk about. We need to have this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, and that same kind of situation is big in the news right now with Cristiano Ronaldo, international soccer player.
Yes.
That situation is being brought back up from something that he allegedly did, I think, back in 2006. Well, that's not a very fun it's not a fun conversation to
But it's
have, but
one
it's a
that's
necessary
very
Needs to
one.
be had,
Yes.
yes.
But a fun aspect that we can talk about is Black Hollywood Live, and Tehran is going to be talking about that.
Well, it's not a fun aspect of rape, but it is
No,
a fun
it is
aspect
definitely not.
of this network. BHL fans, Black Hollywood Live is the first urban digital broadcast network in existence. Since inception, BHL has prided itself on creating outstanding content in all areas, from news, music, and politics to lifestyle and entertainment. We've not only given voice to the often underserved Black and Latino community, we've also provided new hosts with the dopest platform to exercise their talents. And that's not all. BHL has done the same for many of Hollywood's A-list, including Oprah Winfrey. I love you, Oprah, whom has made multiple BHL appearances and given us several shout-outs. Now, the Black Hollywood Live Network needs your help. How can you do that? By subscribing to our YouTube channel. That's how. Subscribing to our YouTube channel will also help you find new shows we're sure you'll love. And if you're worried about annoying notifications, don't be. They are optional. So hit that subscribe button now. It's easy and help us continue our work. Let us know you did in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Show us love, and we will show you love back on air. Thanks for being supportive fans to BHL, helping us take the network to the next level and continue to redefine Hollywood. From all of us at BHL, thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, everyone. Moving on now, we got a video about dogs. Are you guys dog fans?
No,
love
I feel like,
dogs.
of course you love dogs. That's like the white girl thing to do is love dogs.
Okay. All right. But we got this video right here might make you change your opinion on dogs a little bit.
Dogs are lovable.
So what you can see going on in this video is
This dog,
there's a dog appearing to bite a young man.
but it's a cute dog. It's like a small.
No, that's not cute.
That is. It's not like truly attacking. It's
Playing.
Playing.
It's possibly it's a kid who's possibly a little afraid of dogs.
Yeah.
And then a dog who was either seeked on him or whatever. But it's not a dog that can inflict horrible damage. It's not like a large German Shepherd or.
I mean, I think that is a pit bull.
But it's a friendly.
It's not a pit bull.
It's
It's
a
like a-
friendly mixed
A
dog.
bulldog or terrier type.
Look at that. Look at that. It's cute. It's fun.
That's not fun though.
It's not fun for him,
So
but it's fun
yeah,
for the.
it
If he was
is.
in real danger, everyone else wouldn't just be standing there.
Yeah, of course.
And for the most part, dogs are just a reflection of their owners.
That's true.
And so there are no vicious dogs, just vicious owners. And in this case, it's a playful dog who's playing around, and the kid happens to be afraid of dogs, possibly from a.
And that
bad
definitely is
experience.
helping him get over his fear for sure.
Well, not even if he's afraid. I've been in a situation like that where a dog thought I was trying to get away. I was trying to get away from the dog, and he thought I was trying to get him to chase. He wanted to chase, so he was just coming and jumping on me, and I'm trying to get away, but you can't really do anything because they just think it's all a game.
Yeah, of course. It's like a playful.
Have you ever been
big
bit by a
kid.
dog before though?
No.
It's the scariest. It's scary.
Oh, I'm sure. I've
been bit
witnessed
by a
I've
dog
witnessed
before.
it.
So that's you. Basically, you
No.
empathize because you would be afraid of the.
No, I love dogs, but I've been bit by a dog before, and it's scary. And that's like, we had to take our dog to the vet, and we found out he had a brain tumor because he just randomly bit, and it was a pit bull mix. And so, like, it's scary if dogs attack
bit
you.
the pit bull mix bit you.
Bit me, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I know. So this poor kid is like freaking out,
I can understand.
but it's fun to watch.
I can understand.
It's funny. It's a funny video.
A dog attacking you.
This next video, not so funny. I mean, I guess it is a little funny. A situation between a customer and an employee at Subway gets
no.
a little out of hand.
It gets out
due
of
to
hand.
some bacon.
So the customer claims that
You're gonna give me
they miss bacon,
No, you call police. You're gonna give me either my money back or you're gonna give me some cooked bacon.
and this is a cashier
That's just what's gonna happen.
I mean, you talk to somebody else.
Yeah, that's okay. You
who's
either give me
obviously
cooked
fed
bacon
up with
or-
this customer.
I asked her to put it in a toaster oven. This bacon is not cooked.
I put it in the oven like
So
Okay, well,
she
see,
asked for
you figure
toasted
it out.
bacon,
You
it's
figure out
not
what to do.
toast.
You don't get an attitude with me. You put it back in the. Go ahead, because this is gonna be all on social media. I asked for a club sandwich with bacon.
exactly like I don't give a fuck.
That's why you work here. And that's why you always
Exactly.
But then that's what,
Exactly.
yeah, but that's what people go to, and that is the worst thing to say.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with working a job. It's noble. She's working.
She could not be working. I agree.
She could
with
be
you.
working. It's not. This is why you'll always be working here, and I'm successful and you're not. That's the go-to. That is the new. Do you
Talking
know
down
who I
point.
am?
Yeah.
Do you know who I am? That's not. The point is your customer service is not.
Sucks.
It's not good. Your attitude's not good. You're supposed to be in a customer service situation. Please help me. I'm just asking for something that can be easily remedied. The customer is always right. Help me out. I just want my bacon toasted. Right? But then they get into altercations where towards the end, it's like, well, what are you going to do? I'll fight you. And
Who said they would fight who? Customer said
the
she would fight
customer
her?
kind of said, what are you going to do? And look, she's antagonizing her right now.
See, that's why this video bothers me, because I wanted to know, both of you, who you thought was in the wrong here. And I think they're both in the wrong here.
They are.
I think it changes.
Who go get
Oh,
that?
definitely.
It does.
I think in the beginning.
Look, here.
That's right. You gotta stay
Yes.
calm.
I think in the beginning, the employee was in the wrong because it's a sandwich, man. Just like, just make her some bacon and fix
Yeah.
it, But then to continue antagonizing someone and sticking a phone, if someone stuck a phone in my face like that, like,
And I don't understand why people do that either. Like,
what are you expecting to happen?
Because they feel protected. And I've noticed this just in general. It happens a lot where people feel they're protected. The
Right,
law
and then,
protects
they
them.
hit me first.
And it's something that happens very commonly in the United States because we all are so protected by the law. Of course, all of us are various degrees protected, but we all feel comfortable that the law protects us in some way. You would never get away with that overseas. Like if that was the Middle
Right.
East or something, that would have been a different conversation, right? So it's that we feel this false sense of security when it comes to all these things. And we don't know what initially started. We don't know how
Yeah.
the customer initially approached the situation for the cashier to react that way. But at that point, we see that she could be correct and fix the situation. She doesn't. She's fed up. And then we also see that the customer has now crossed over into antagonizing. And that girl's getting what? Minimum wage?
Yeah.
Getting minimum wage.
And it's just these videos are super unfortunate because it's something that can be avoided so easily.
Yes.
Whether she just the employee just cooks the bacon or the woman with the phone just leaves it alone.
Yes.
Like I don't get why people have to be so anal about.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to eat raw bacon.
Well, of course,
Personally,
of course.
But yes,
I've
when you
never
pull-
ate pork,
just make
so-
another sandwich.
But when you pull the phone out and are
Right,
trying to make a
right,
big deal out of
right.
it, like you're some big deal, like
You
you're
know
gonna
what
get,
you're doing.
when if somebody were to put their phone in my face and be like, "Oh, this is gonna go all over social media," it's like, man,
Cool.
I hope you do.
right, like,
I'm already on it, so
but then don't give them a reason to even
Exactly.
post it. Be like,
Exactly.
oh, okay.
yeah,
Well,
just
I'd
kill 'em-
love for
kill 'em
everyone
with
in the
kindness.
comments below to vote. Let us know who
Who's
you think
wrong?
is wrong. Is it customer or employee? Let us know what you think. Watch that video and tell us. Can we please end on a good note? Because
Let's
now
do
I'm
that.
so upset.
Let's do that. We kind of we're gonna.
I am. That just got me. Just like it.
He's riled
Well,
up.
Matt, we're gonna fight in here. We are gonna fight in here.
Yeah.
We kind of trashed on Kanye a little bit ago for his antics.
Almost every week.
Yeah, almost. Actually, yeah, I think it
keeps it
I think it has been every week.
Kanye.
This is a clip of Kanye helping out what appears to be a homeless individual right after his birthday, recognizing some talent. So let's take a look at that.
All right, so basically,
Tell him your name.
yeah, my name's Nino Blue, BLU, no E at the end, Nino Blue, and I'm here with Kanye West. And my birthday was the other day, and I just became homeless because the guy of the place I was living with was a little crazy, and I'm out here on the street. And Kanye's bringing me into the studio right now. He heard me rap. He let me rap to him. He says I have good energy, and he's gonna show me some beats and stuff. And I feel extremely blessed. I feel very happy. I feel like, God is just looking out for me right now. And I don't really have like any words at all to describe what's going on. It just feels like a crazy ass miracle. And I just want everyone back there to know that if you have a dream or you have anything that you feel like you're pursuing, like keep going for that shit till the very end, because you don't know what potentially could happen. The universe works in very mysterious ways. And I feel extremely blessed for Kanye West to help me out with this.
All love.
It is all love for Kanye to use his platform to put someone on. That's a nice thing. That's always a dream of anyone who has that rap goal, to meet
Right.
that Puff, that Kanye, that whoever, and they give them just a moment of their time. And that must have just felt great for Nino Blue.
I hope he gave him some money too.
Well, and that's why I really like Kanye. I mean, he does this kind of stuff
Yeah,
for people
all the time though. I feel like he doesn't record it all the time,
Yeah.
and it needed to be recorded. Sometimes.
Well, especially now with everything that's going wrong
So
with
everyone
Kanye.
doesn't think, but I think Kanye as a whole is a very like empathetic human being.
Yeah, and he really cares about the music industry and making music. And
Well, I
that's,
wish he cared about black people. Come on, Kanye.
Right?
well, we'll have to see next week on the Kanye adventures. But unfortunately, that's all the time we've got today on World Star Weekly. I hope you join us next week for another great episode. We're gonna have some even better clips, maybe some more fights, maybe some more Kanye. Who knows? Well, I'm Michael Patterson. You can find me on Twitter at MikePatNews. That's MikePattnews. Tehran, where can we find you?
Well, Michael Patterson sounds like an author. I do not. At I am Tehran all across the board. At IAMTEHRAN. My name is Tehran, like the capital V Ron. So if you don't know how to spell it, just watch Fox News.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Abigail Fraher, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Abigail_AF.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Tune in next week, Sunday, 4 o'clock. We'll be here to talk
World
more
Star
videos.
Wrap Up Weekly. Thank you so
Thanks,
much for
everybody.
watching.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood
Hollywood
redefined.
redefined.
Yeah.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.